Hello and good afternoon. Every so often I find myself trawling the internet looking at tools because I need to replace one that I've broken or I've lost it or it's worn out. And what I thought I would do is every time I do order a new tool, when it arrives I would unwrap it on camera so I can show you what I think of it, or at least first impressions, in case you're interested in buying one yourself. In this particular package is a pair of pliers, at least that's what I ordered, so hopefully that's what's in here. Now if we just have a look at the invoice first of all, you can see it's made by a company called, I'm going to pronounce that, Maun. It's like man but with a U in the end. This is actually a British company, which is quite pleasing. I always try and get tools from the UK or the European Union if possible, not because I'm a nationalist or anything, but I believe in the concept that really if you can shop locally then you ought to, rather than having stuff floating around in the ocean on these big container ships if it's not necessary. I think local sourcing is always a good thing environmentally. But we used to have a lot of tool manufacturers in the UK, but not so much anymore. Hardly any, in fact. But I came across this company more now. They're nearly 80 years old. They've been manufacturing primarily pliers. And they've got the very creative name there, or subtitle, No Ordinary Plier Maker. So you'd hope it'd be quite good. I paid £22 for this pair of pliers, plus delivery. So yeah, they're not particularly cheap, but then, they're British made, so you've got to allow a bit of extra for that. They're never going to be able to make things as cheaply as they can in places like China. But hopefully we'll get something that's well made and good quality with good support if it's no good. So let's just open this package up. Just as I'm doing that, I'll say that the delivery was quite slow. I ordered this on the 24th of December. Yeah, I know that's Christmas Eve. And it's only just arrived. I think it's the 8th of January today, so that's pretty slow. But that does include Christmas, it includes New Year, it includes Brexit, and I know that has had a knock-on effect with the delivery companies. And it's also been snowing quite a lot. So, I think we need to cut them a bit of slack there. It's probably not their fault. Okay, there's a pair of pliers. I suppose wire snips is a bit of a more accurate description. Diagonal cutting nipper, 140 millimeters, maximum 2 millimeters diameter of hard wire. That's what they recommend. Well, first view, they look pretty nice. Do they come out easily, or have I got to cut them out? And they come out. Alright, so it comes with very simple packaging. Minimal use of plastic, which is good, just the cable tied to hold it onto the board. And that's pleasing. Yeah, just a cardboard backer. Okay, put that over there. Okay, well, let's have a look at this then. It looks well engineered. It's got a nice smooth motion. It feels firm, doesn't feel loose at all. The joins are rivets, blind rivets. The handle is textured to give it a bit of grip. It's quite thick metal used on the handle. It looks like it's like zinc plated, but it's thick, it's strong, and it's certainly sturdy. So I think that would last a long time. Now the actual jaws themselves appear to be made from some kind of hardened steel. This is made in England, as you'd expect. So yeah, some kind of high density steel of some kind. Bringing them together, you probably can't see so well on the camera, but the jaws do look like they do come together very accurately. That's often a problem with cheaper snips or pliers, is that there's a little bit of play in them, and the two teeth, for want of a better word, when they come together, they don't always exactly match up, which is a Bit of a shame, but they do on this one. There's no obvious play in that at all. So it does look very well engineered. I was trying to sort of see how much flex is in it, and the answer is like none. It feels very tight. I know this isn't wire, but let's have a go. Oh yeah, doesn't have any problem with that. As you would hope, it's only cardboard. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go and find a piece of wire, see what it's like cutting a piece of wire. Right, now I've got a whole bunch of different electrical cables here. So let's start with something ridiculously small. This is like a telephone cable, like twisted pair. It might seem very obvious that it will cut this, but actually sometimes the cheap pliers actually struggle to properly sever very, very thin wire. It's actually a bit annoying. It just kind of strips the sheath because the jaws don't align very well. So we'll give it a go. Well, see, that did struggle a little bit there. I think that would be on the inside. Let's try on the end. Yeah, it's fine. It does it. Let's go with something a little bit bigger. I've got here a piece of old, whatever it is, extension lead flex. Now that looks to me like about 1.5 mil. Maybe it says on the cable what it is. Yes. 3 cores of 1.5 mil. Let's just have a look at cutting one of the cores. Very little effort required. About all of them at once, including the sheath. Well, doesn't even really get in there, to be honest. That's its maximum opening. Probably to stop you doing anything silly with it like I'm trying to do now. But I bet it'll cut all 3 at once there. Let's have a go. Yeah, that was really no problem at all. Okay, so we know it'll do 3 at once if that's what you want to do. This cable is 10 square millimeters. Not 10 mil square, it's not the same. 10 square millimeters. Barely fits in the gap. But it cuts it pretty easy. I've noticed one thing. This opens pretty wide. I imagine if you had any kind of oil on your hands, or maybe you just had sweaty palms or something, and you squeeze that, I can imagine, because it's spring-loaded, it shooting back at you. You know, it kind of feels like it's trying to sort of launch that way at me. Not that I would be fatally wounded by such an action, but it would be a source of amusement for anyone watching. That's just my hands on that big. I thought my hands are quite big. They do bigger ones of these. That must be more of an issue. I guess you can squeeze one side and just use the other with your fingers. Don't know. Maybe it's technique. This is, I was going to say thicker again. It is thicker, but actually I think the core is probably about the same. It's just thicker sheathed. So it's probably 10 mil again. But it might be too fat for it actually. Yeah, it's unusual for a pair of wire snips that you can't, it really doesn't open that much, but then it's only supposed to be, it says, for 2 mil wire, so I suppose you can't really blame it for that. But no, that doesn't open that wide. You do it in stages, perhaps. I'm just cutting the sheath here. Yeah, it requires very little effort once you manage to get it into the jaws. So it's certainly strong and it's sharp. But they really mean it when they say don't cut anything more than 2mm. I did bring some of this. This is actually really quite thick stuff. See if I can actually open it. I'm not cutting the wire now. I'm just trying to unwrap it because it's not been opened yet. So I can get one of the ends out. This is obviously a ground cable for meter tails. It feels pretty strong. Will it even go in there? I don't know. Oh, just goes in. Let's try that. It's a bit tougher. Yeah. I'll certainly do it. And that is a lot thicker than it's supposed to be. I'm not sure what this is. It's 16mm? Yeah, 16 square mil. Made in India, apparently. There we go. Interesting. I did bring this up, but there's really no point in trying that. It's not going to do it. This is 25mm meter tail. And there's no way on this planet it's going to go in there. So that's kind of pointless. So it is meeting its specification. I mean, you know, it's kind of intended for smaller wire like that, of which it's cuts absolutely effortlessly. So it is doing what it's supposed to do. Some of the blacking is fading off, or it's got copper dust on it, on the teeth. I don't know, but that's fine. So first impressions, yeah, you know, it's good. I'm pleased with that. I think it's a good bit of kit. I don't tend to do an awful lot cutting these big fat wires anyway. I actually use an angle grinder for cutting big fat wires like that. It's just so easy just to whiz them through that. But you know, I do a lot with smaller wires, you know, this sort of size. So actually, you know, these snips are, you know, I think they're going to be fine for me and what I want. I'm surprised they don't open a little bit more, but you know, it did say when I bought it 2mm wire was the recommended size. And I think if that is all you ever did with it, then these would last probably longer than I'm going to last, if we're honest. I can see it being, you know, slipping back towards you. I can see that being a bit of a thing. It is slippery. Maybe that's just me. They do offer them with like a rubberized covering on the metal. It was a few pounds more, but I didn't go for that one. I went for this one. I can see why they do it. But yeah, okay. Quality wise, this is a good set of snips. You know, it's as good a pair of snips as I've ever seen. It's nice because it's made in the UK. You know, I like that. The tolerances are very good. It's very tight. I imagine this is a very good steel. It looks like a good steel. It's been cast and ground. I think this is a good set of snips. Not the cheapest, but you get what you pay for with tools. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that. Well, look, we found this short video interesting. I should just say, for the purposes of accuracy, before I get accused otherwise, there's no kind of product placement here or sponsorship. They're not. The company that sold me this don't know I'm doing a review, and I've paid full price for it, so they're not paying me for a review or anything like that. If you were interested in buying a set of these yourself, check them out. The website is www.maunindustries.com. That's MAUN Industries.com. I'll put a link in the description. Do please, as ever, like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want me to make more videos of the various tools that arrive on the front door step at the house. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and see you again in another video soon.